Hello everyone, this is a short guide to help you link your TIA portal, your FactoryIO and then PLC Advanced version 4 all smoothly to work together. So to do that, I started this guide with the assumption that you have TIA version, any TIA version, I'm using version 17 installed, and then PLC Sim Advanced version 4 installed. Okay, so if you open it without having any instance running, is something you should expect. Okay, so our goal is to successfully hook this up to our FactoryIO. Once the TI portal is done starting, I'll open an existing project. I just want to open an existing project so I can use it to show you how to successfully link the three applications to work together perfectly. Okay, so let's go to our project view, and whilst that loads, we can set an instance. Now, to start your virtual PLC or your PLC sim, what you need is this. After creating your projects, every station will have its own folder, right? And then the folder name is what we call the instance name. So here the name is just this. This is not inclusive. So it's PLC _1. And that's what you need to first create your to complete the creation of an instance in your PLC simulator. So the same name, PLC _1, that we see here. You don't have to add this. That's what I have over there. So I'll start the instance, and once everything looks well, okay, so right now that instance is running, and in this project I have something simple to demonstrate that everything works. So in my main OB1, you can see as I load it that I have just one rank with a simple program to stop a conveyor in FactoryI. Okay, but usually after this I like to go online. I like to download whatever I have here today, simulator first, even before I start my FactoryIO. I like to download and make sure that there are no errors. It's able to communicate to the PLC sim before I now connect it finally to the FactoryIO. So around once everything checks blue here, we know it's a good sign. We load it and then finish. So there was no error, which is good. Then I like to go online just to be sure that the PLC simulator or the virtual PLC is well connected to my TIA portal. So since everything checks green here, it means everything is fine. This hurdle I know a lot of people cross, but how to finally link whatever we have here to the FactoryIO is where a lot of people usually have some challenges. So I've started my FactoryIO, and then once it's finished loading up, I'll show you how to connect it to your PLC sim. Okay, so the typical issue is that when you go to drivers and then you want to add a PLC sim, I've put my own to connect automatically, so the moment I select it, try to connect. But if your own is not, you can come here and then click connect. A lot of people then would have this particular error: Siemens S7 PLC sim error code -4 does not exist. Okay, it does not exist. Now, lots of people have this does not exist error. and then they try a lot of ways, but still their FactoryI is not able to connect to the PLC Sim Advanced version 4. So if you have such an issue, one thing I'll tell you is that if it's your first time, you go to configuration and make sure you've selected the S7 1500 S7 PLC Sim Advanced. Yes, make sure you have selected that and these parts. Then you go back and then go to view, menu item view, and open your console. Now in the console, we are going to point our FactoryI to the instance name that is running over here, and the instance name is what? PLC _1. That is what FactoryI is not able to find automatically. So what you do is that you type drivers. Sorry. Okay, so what you do is that you type drivers, then dots. Then since it's a Siemens PLC or virtual PLC we are using, we go to Siemens, then Siemens _S7 PLC Sim dot instance name equal to, then using inverted comma, type the instance name PLC _1, then you close it with another inverted comma. Please take note of this: PLC _1, PLC _1. Make sure that you write the same thing in the PLC you are trying to connect to. Then we hit enter. Now when we go back to drivers now, you see that our PLC has been successfully connected to the FactoryI. Okay, very good. So maybe I'll load an existing scenario. I will open a new scenario and probably we'll go through the process again the last time. One thing about this approach is that whenever you start a new scenario or you start FactoryI, you have to go through that whole process again. Maybe if somebody can find a way to enter into a particular configuration or chasing file for it to be persistent, that will be fine. So because we opened a new scenario, you see that all that we did is gone. So once again we come to what? Siemens PLC same error, right? As I said, it's not persistent, the solution is not persistent, but it can work for every session. So you go to view console, then you type drivers, the same thing, dot Siemens S7 PLC sim dot instance. So I'm using my tab to try and complete the commands. So the instance name is PLC _1 for me. So whichever instance name you have, you put it in the inverted commas, then you hit enter. So once again, when we go back to check at drivers file, menu item file, drivers, you see that our PLC has been successfully connected. So here is a simple program I have on the TIA portal to complete or to allow this scenario to be well demonstrated. So let's see. I can see that our simulator is working fine, and then the program we have is working. Okay, so that is how to link your FactoryI TIA portal and then your PLC Advanced version 4. Okay. Like, subscribe and share for others to also be able to use this approach. Okay, bye bye.